part of these stories are safe for work, are they? Would they be with the NSW not safe for work? Anyway.
Howdy doody time! It's live with Brent and Becky on Shenanigans.
Yes. So, shop news.
Oh, yes.
So, we've got...
I suppose they care more about that than
well,
my
maybe not.
social life.
Maybe not. Who knows? We got Intro to Machine Embroidery coming up. And I want to say that's the week after next.
I was going to say, and what day is that?
The 30th.
The 30th. So that means then the 23rd is the Luminaire Club. I forgot to put dates on my notes, so you can. I was all excited.
He's
I got
still
notes.
Off the grid, people.
I got all my notes, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, classes, Intro to Machine Embroidery, but I don't have the dates.
Yeah.
But the 30th on that, and then the 22nd is going to be the Luminaire Owners Club. That's on the calendar. The other thing we're coming up August 3rd. Is it 3rd or 6th? August 6th. Is we're gonna do a comfy pullover. Basically, we're gonna do just a kind of a little pullover, like a sweatshirt type of thing. It's kind of a loose kind of for lounge around the house or hanging at the campfire. It should be a fun class. Ashley assures me that it's simple. So if you're interested in that, sign up now because that'll probably fill up quick. It's a little bit different than what we usually do because
it's not a quilt.
It's not a quilt. It's actually something you're gonna wear when you're done. But that's going to be on a Saturday, so that's on the calendar now. We'll be getting more pictures and stuff up once she's got the sample in. She sent me an email that I didn't, but I don't know that I got the email. Anyway. That being said, and then the other shop news is the Laurie Holt sew-along that everybody's getting excited about. Is it Prairie?
Prairie.
Prairie. I just got the bill for the fabric. So we're probably going to have the fabric in here by the end of the week.
But did you get the templates?
Not yet. I'm still working the details out. Well, that's what the news. That the fabric's on its way, and we're going to have all the details are going to start coming out for that sew-along. So if it's something you're interested in, let us know. I don't have any sheet. I don't have a sign-up online for it yet, but if you give us a call, we'll put you on the list, and as stuff starts coming together, we'll be sure to be in contact with everybody that's interested.
Well, if you want to sell the fabric, it's helpful to sell the templates.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have the whole. Yes, and we have plans for it. So if you're thinking about you may want to do it or may not, you are gonna want the kit because Becky assures me that there's going to be some magic going on.
And we're going to digitize it.
Yes. So if you
right, Danny?
If you're one of the people that
we're going to digitize it, but I can't steal her design.
So the kit price is going to include
the templates, even though we won't use them.
Yes.
That's how we stay out of trouble.
Also, it's going to be a little bit more because of all the extra work that we're putting in. So if you check, once we get it put together and you see our kit prices and like, oh my gosh, it's more expensive than everybody else.
Yeah.
Look at what we did with Frosty.
Yeah.
Frosty was kind of a try run of what we were planning on doing. Because we're going to take all the hand applique that's done, and most of it's going to be digitized and done on your embroidery machine. That's the direction we're going to be going.
And pre-cuts? Yep. Pre-cut shapes.
And pre-cut shapes. So, yes, the kit's probably going to be a little more expensive than what you're going to...
Or buy it and do it yourself.
Yeah. Or
you can sell it either way.
Yeah, we'll do it either way.
We'll have two different ways.
Yes.
2 different prices.
But if you want to participate with our version of the sew-along,
yes,
we will have a kit for that, but we're going to have all the fabric at any rate.
Yeah.
So that's coming in. And then the only other thing is we got this new collection came in, and I don't have a pattern for it yet, and I'm trying to think what I was going to...
pretty little colors.
Well, here, look at this.
I know. Oh, it's really cute.
That's the panel.
It's adorable.
So that's.
But I like even the fabric collection is amazing.
Yes,
can we get that?
Yes. So
look at that.
What you're going to find is the colors on here are fantastic.
They are.
And the scale is perfect.
Who is this? Who is this?
This is a Riley Blade. Oh no, this is a Studio E.
Studio E.
Studio E. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Oh, it's so cute.
And so what's really nice is that, like I said, the coordinates are fantastic. I mean, this is just a real kind of nice geometric. Jackie, if you're watching, I know that you said you wanted something funky for a quilt for your granddaughters. And this is the one I told you was coming in, that this might be something worth looking at. The colors are great. It's more of a salmon than a pink, so it's going to have a little bit more...
It doesn't read boy-girl.
Yeah.
It's non-binary. I learned that term this week.
Yes, so yes, it's all online. It's, what, $11.95 a yard?
True. Tweety birds, you got so many cute colors.
All right,
in
we'll
this.
keep going. There's the raccoons.
Well, stick them right here.
raccoons.
You like to show them that way. These are really cute.
Nice little raccoons. Here's all the forest friends from the neighborhood, the raccoon, the fox, and
they're adorable.
And here's the houses that are in the neighborhood.
And I love that the pink is not pink.
It's a nice coral salmon color.
Yeah.
And then there's these cameras which are in a
really
couple
pretty.
of them.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And then here's the little Tweety birds. And they're even blue, so if you want to make like a Twitter quilt, I guess. All right. Quilt of the week.
Oh! Do we have a halo? Do we have an angel singing?
Sue, what was Sue? Sue was out of school for a little bit, so she got bored and finished this quilt that she was working on in the class.
She was actually quarantined. Let's say it what it is. This is the Macaw Quilt.
Maybe she doesn't want everybody to know that she had the plague.
This is the Macaw Quilt that we've been working on in class.
Yes.
Now, where we are in class is putting this centerpiece together. That's what we did last week and this week. And then we're going on to this border and that border. But right now, and by the way, this is the lap version right here.
Yes, without the borders.
That Brent said, nobody's going to want to do the queen version, so we're going to bring in the lap.
I said
no one's going to, don't ruin my story.
Okay, fine.
No one's going to want to do the queen version, so we're going to bring in the lap version. And as soon as they got busy doing it, really, second class, they're like, we need the upgrade to the queen. Is this stunning? This here is Macaw.
And because there's been a lot of interest, which I knew this was going to happen once we started the class, we will be redoing this class probably in the fall.
Yes.
I think is the plan.
Yes, that's the plan.
So keep an eye out for that. If you see a class that says Macaw, it's for this right here.
This is what we're making, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she chose different fabrics than what our kit had in it, but it came out stunning.
Turbo tape.
Okay, now you're going to all think this is stupid, but
okay.
I was like, duh.
Yeah, but some of those duh ones are actually super helpful.
Do you know you can get a whole pack of these?
With Kimber,
for almost for almost nothing.
Yep, I'm aware.
And then I hate folding my fabrics after this is going to be my show. Just so you know. Cindy Dunnell.
Yeah, that came out nice. I like it.
Oh, that's cute. You need to get this patent in. But you don't want to fold it.
No,
right?
you don't. Yeah, no.
You don't want to fold. So I used to roll around leftover.
Move forward a little bit so they can see you rolling.
I used to roll around leftover tubes.
Do you mean like wrapping paper tubes?
Wrapping paper, paper towels, toilet paper.
How many boys do you have?
Huh?
How many boys do you have?
I have 4 boys.
How did you have any wrapping paper tubes?
What are you talking about?
The first thing that we did as kids is get an empty wrapping paper. You start beating each other with it.
Oh, because it's stored where they shall not get it.
Oh, okay.
All my stabilizer rolls.
We graduated to wiffle bats, and that's when things got.
My stabilizer rolls, I save those. With this, it's very well stabilized already because of her method. But I said, oh. And then I was like, okay, tape or this or that. Yeah. And I went on that A store and I bought a whole package of these things for almost nothing.
You can get the Kimberbell ones that are printed with your stabilizer on it.
I know.
If you want. I can sell you those.
Have those.
They're probably like 6 times what you paid for that.
I actually have those and I don't have enough of them.
Okay.
So that's why I went searching for more things. And I'm like,
that's fantastic.
The other thing I've used them for is when you're quilting on your machine, and this is sort of stolen from Kimberbell's idea with the clear blue tiles, but theirs are too big for some of my stuff. Roll your quilt up and then slap these around.
So moving along, as you all know, we stopped the workbench section kind of because I was trying to...
It's still Brent's workbench.
It is, but we're doing a sew-along now. And last week...
Well, it's still a workbench.
Yeah, last week we got ourselves to this point here.
The old 9 patch.
So you can review last week for the 30 seconds that we spent on how to get to the 9 patch. So now, today, we're going to take this 9 patch and take it a little bit further because, you know, it's just a 9 patch. We're going to now go to make that block look like this. So we just took that 9 patch and we just gave it fancy corners. But you see how that totally changes the look of your 9 patch?
What's that officially called?
I don't know. I should know. It's like
is that sort of a snowball?
No, like a friend. Yeah, churn dash, I think. Yeah. I should really know my blocks, but I don't. So I'm just going to show you how to get your 9 patch, which took us all of about 30 seconds to make one. Like I said, I actually this morning, to get ready for this, in the course of an hour, I made like 10 9 patches and tried a bunch of different stuff. But anyway, so to get to this point...
You didn't press this one as nicely as last week's.
Well, actually, I pressed it twice and it got screwed up.
Oh.
Okay, so we start with a 9 patch.
Going way out of here.
And this basic idea works for lots of stuff. We're going to use my favorite tool, which is an easy angle.
What else do you use that for, Brent?
I use this for everything. I use it for bindings. I use it for borders. I use it for all sorts of stuff. The easy angle is awesome. And I'm also going to show you how to do this without an easy angle, but I use the easy angle because it's a tool. You should have one. The 6.5 I find is the most versatile. A lot of people have just a 4.5. If all you're going to use it for is bindings, use a 4.5. But if you're going to use it for lots of other stuff, the 6.5 is nice. 12. They make a 4.5, a 6.5, and a 12.5. I use all 3 of them. But if you're only going to buy one, do a 6.5. So all we're going to do is we're going to take a square. And now everything that we cut, because this is a 12-inch, all our strips are 4.5 inches. We cut these strips into 4.5 inches. So anytime we're cutting, it's always 4.5 inches. So here's a 4.5-inch square. And then I'm just going to put that up in the corner here. Now,
does it matter which corner you put it in?
Nope. Just line it up. Now, you could make the squares ahead of time and then sew them into the 9 patch, but then that's just a lot more work because the way we use strip sets to make the 9 patch, so it's a lot quicker than sewing together 9 individual squares.
Oh, you're talking to me? I'll come over if you're talking to me.
No, I'm just saying in general. So all we're going to do is just...
Anyway.
We're just going to lay this on, and we want to make sure that we're lined up on... Oops. We want to make sure that we're lined up along the top and edge here. That's important because it's going to overlap down here a little bit because we lost a 1/4 inch when this got sewn together. So we don't care about that edge as much as this up here is. Now, if you didn't want to use an easy angle, and there's an old school method that a lot of people still use, I think that they call it the magic wand. All you have to do...
Oh, yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah. All you're going to do is you could draw a line with a pen or a pencil or your favorite marking tool from corner to corner, and then sew on that line. That's all you're going to do. But what the easy angle does is it figures in our 1/4 inch for us. So we're just going to drop that on here, making sure that we're lined up in our corners up here. And I'm going to put my easy angle on here, and we know this is 4.5. And if you look carefully, you can see where this 4.5 line comes down the side and across here. So then all we're going to do is take our cutter and chop our corner off. So what you'll notice now, all the easy angle did is if you had...
that was a pretty... You probably should stand up when you cut.
Yeah, no, but for the sake of entertainment.
See his little slippage?
If you had just drawn a line and sewn from corner to corner,
need to put some
then you'd have to cut your 1/4 inch, trim it to 1/4 inch. All the easy angle does is figures out where that 1/4 inch is ahead of time. So now all we're going to do is run a 1/4 inch seam up there, and that folds out. If we were to sew it, it'll fold out like that.
And are you going to save these scraps to make a smaller one?
No, I'm not. You can if you want, but I'm not going to.
A lot of people, just so you know, a lot of people would sew this first, cut it.
Yes.
And then they would save this. This is a Laurie Holt thing. She saves these in boxes, and she would just make these available. Half square triangles.
So if you were to sew these ahead of time, you can't sew them ahead of time.
What do you mean you can't sew it ahead of time?
Where would you sew it? So you would.
No, I would sew.
So you would sew that before we cut it? Is what you're saying? So when this was like this, you would have ran a 1/4 inch seam up there and then cut it off?
I don't know what I would have done. I don't do it.
What you can say this.
Yes, I sew it twice, then cut it apart.
Yeah, I mean, and that is another technique that I have seen where you draw a line down the center, then you sew a 1/4 inch to each side. But for this to work, to get this here, because now if you'll notice after we cut it off and sew it, this is the finished one, you're going to notice that you have a 1/4 inch here, so you're not going to lose your points when you put a border around this block. So that's why you want to leave that 1/4 inch and go corner to corner so that you get your points in there. But that's all you're going to do. Is
all of a sudden your 9 patch turned into something
different,
very sophisticated.
Yeah, and like I said, there is patterns where you would make these ahead of time, and then
I see all the time.
Yeah, you see a pattern where you make these ahead of time, and then you sew all the blocks together to get your 9 patch. Granted, you won't have as much wasted fabric because each corner you lose a little bit, this method, but this method is a whole lot quicker because after you get it made, you just put it on your 4 corners and away you go.
Yeah, and easier to sew, I would imagine, just to sew together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because,
sometimes I get stretched.
Because what I find is the method we use with the strip sets allows us to get our points lined up really nicely because of the way we press it. Whereas if you're sewing individual squares together, sometimes you don't get as good of points because things move a little bit more. So that's all we're going to do. So if you're doing the sew along, that's this week. So all we're going to do is just sew some corners onto your 9 patches to create this. So
that's
next week.
Cool.
Next week, I'm hoping to have a few more blocks done, and we'll kind of get started on a little bit of a setting for it.
That's pretty cool. You know what my favorite snack is, which is horrible, is those sour cream and cheddar cheese Ruffles potato chips. Oh, I can eat a bag of those. This is one of the blocks from Cindy Dunnell's quilt pattern called "'Tis the Season." What I wanted to show you today is I didn't use her exact color scheme, and I'm going to show you that, like, see the little holly berries? She makes them in the same color as the ribbon, and I didn't want my holly berries to be the same color as my ribbon, and in one block I made them white, actually.
With the ribbon or the holly berries?
The holly berries.
But aren't holly berries red?
Well, mistletoe berries are white, so I could pretend they're mistletoe berries.
Oh, I don't know.
Depends on where I'm decorating.
Okay.
But the point was, as I was doing it, I said, oh, that's something that people might want to know who have dabbled in embrilliance, essentials. This is not going up the ladder to, there's ways to do it differently if you get into the stitch levels.
Yes.
But this can be done with essentials. And I said, I'm going to show them how to pull out, it's called adding a color stop, so that you can then change the color of particular items in a design. Or you can play chicken, like in one of her blocks, it went bow, berry, back to bow. And you can sit there and go, bow, 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 stop! Change your thread to your berry, and then go, stop! Change it back to bow. I can't be dealing with those.
I mean, if you're only going to run it once, then that would be the...
No, because inevitably the phone rings, I have to go potty, the dog craps on the floor, there's always something that happens and you miss it.
The inevitability is that the dog is going to crap on the floor.
Chloe, man, bloop. She always says, Mom, I'm so sorry, I miscalculated the time it would take to get to the pad. All right, so actually, and I want to cover something for Deanna today.
Okay.
Because Deanna said, okay, I went and I bought essentials, but I don't know how to install it. And I went, oh, well, you don't install it. When you buy Embrilliance, when you download Embrilliance, you actually are getting the entire package. What you do is unlock pieces of the package. So what you get is not new software, but a code. So if you got Start Embrilliance running and you go under Help, you see, I'm not going to show mine. Do you see where it says serial numbers right here? Hey, how come I don't got my fancy thing turned on?
What fancy thing turned on?
Oh, we got to turn on our fancy thing. Ooh. So now you go up to Help. You see where it says serial numbers? If you click that, it will have numbers for all the modules you have purchased and a place for you to type in your new ones. That's how easy it is. You then just restart your program, and it's going to come up with all those unlocked features. Now, Essentials is the very first one that most people buy because it does most of what people want. It allows you to merge designs together. It allows you to change colors like I'm going to show you today, or delete pieces of a pattern that you don't want to come out at all. Allows you to do all the font work we've talked about before. So this is really, allows you to print your patterns out. This is really the beginning of the thing. I'm boring you already.
No, I just suddenly realized I'm tired.
God. All right. So on my screen, I have the first half of the block the second half of the block, because it didn't all fit in one hoop. So see the teddy bear in the present? That's what you're seeing on the screen. What?
Turn it around.
Why?
Because I don't want to see.
Oh! Well, look good to me.
I was checking out the teddy bear in the
present.
present.
My back looks pretty good. I haven't finished trimming it completely, but here's my teddy bear. There we go.
So over here, this is right here. Right there. Teddy bear.
Yeah, the teddy bear and the present, okay? And I don't want, now, the Stitch Simulator, which comes with essentials. Again, this is something I feel, I always look at this before I even sew anything out for the first time. I am a nerd like that. I will run my Stitch Simulator simply by clicking on this guy up here. Oh, I clicked off it. Click on him, and you'll see this bar at the top. That is representing the thread colors and what they're going to sew. So if I can start dragging this, because that's the fastest way, you can see, I can tell, oh, it's going to stitch part of the bow. Then it's going over to the teddy bear for some reason. I don't know, but it is. And then it's going to do some black highlighting on that teddy bear. And then, oh, here it comes. It's going back and stitching the rest of the present. Now, the reason it does it this way is because when she gave us the larger hoop files, she really just combined 6x10 files. She didn't really redo them.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's
because I was just looking at that figure.
I know.
Why are you stitching?
That's why.
Why are they filling in behind the bear?
Because on one thing
because the present and the bear were two separate files for 6x10.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't combine them for this one. She did.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now watch what happens. So now it's working on the bow. It's going down here. It's going down here. It's going down here, and then boom. Berries.
Berries.
Right?
Those
but I want
berries.
my berries, I want my machine to stop before it gets to the berries. So I'm going to back up. Whoops. Becky, back up. Okay. Now I think I'm in the present. See these little guys here? They allow me to step a stitch at a time. So see how I'm up on the present? I'm down on the berries.
Yes.
I'm up on the present.
Up on the present.
I'm down on the berries.
Down on the berries.
Right?
Yes.
Get it? See this?
Yes.
It says stop.
Yeah.
If I click this, I am forcing my machine to stop at that point in my stitch out.
Okay.
And I'm just going to give it another color. I don't have white showing on here, and I'm not going to get fancy. I'm going to make him devil red.
Devil red?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I just want it to stop. Now what I've done, do you see up here what I just did? Sequence?
Can you change that from the devil red to like a different color, because I'm not seeing it really well.
Okay, sure. What would you like it to be?
I don't know.
What do you want it to be?
Make it yellow so we can
yellow.
see the difference.
Yeah, because it's next to that other red, it's hard to see where that change happened.
Oh, gotta get out of palettes. I don't know my isochord numbers.
Right
there we go.
Yeah,
Let's make it that one.
Okay.
Then you should be able to see it, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to...
Okay.
Yeah, see, yeah, that makes... Yeah.
Well, let me blow it up, too. There. See, my berries are now yellow? And if I were to take this to my machine right now, it would stop when I get to my berries, and it would stop again after my berries were done. Watch the stitch out. Here's our package. Watch, guys. Here we go. Red, 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 red. That should be up higher. I think Becky moved it down low. And then black outline, right? See that first black outline? Because that was what was done on that hoop.
Yeah.
And then here comes the red for more bow.
Yeah.
Right? See more bow, more bow, more bow, more bow, more bow, more bow, more bow.
More bow, baby.
Berries! Berries! Yay, berries! And then it goes on to my green and finishes all the black.
That was cool.
That's it.
That's
all. I'm like,
wow.
For the price of that software.
Yeah, that alone is worth it. I mean, the color stops is a nice.
It's very easy to do. Now, obviously, if I wanted to get rid of an isolated thing, you know, you can just hit the delete key. Like if I say, oh, I want my teddy bear to be gone.
And just to be clear, from the technical side of things, that file that you have there now is a PES format, correct?
It is.
Okay. Because I know some software won't let you manipulate it if it's in a
no, it will let you bring it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which then, of course, any format that you're using.
See, let's say I wanted to get rid of the whole bear. See how he's all one color, only used in one place, so I can just click on him and hit delete, and the bear is gone.
It's a sad little bear now.
Yeah, no.
Looks like he's been shot in the head with the
the bow, Becky and her bow. So, but see, now my fill-in of the bear is gone.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get rid of the outline of the bear, that's when I would go back to using color stop.
And getting rid
I would go through the black till it started the bear, and I would color stop.
So, say you had just like a part of the outline that you wanted to get rid of.
Did you want to get rid of? Like, let's say.
So say like the arm of the bear, for example.
Which arm? It depends on how she stitched.
But what I'm saying is, if you do a color stop. Yeah. And then a color stop on the other side.
You can then get rid of the
delete
arm.
everything in the middle.
Yeah, watch.
Will the machine stop between those two color stops, or will it just know that everything's still black?
Watch. Say I didn't want that piece of his paw, for example. Okay, I'm going to back up to right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to use my move forward, move forward, move forward. See how the paw started?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the very first stitch of the paw.
Yeah.
This is where you got to be tedious with essentials, but... That's the outline.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the paw.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to put a color stop in there. I have to decide. I have to give it some sort of color.
Okay.
Because those are just the rules.
Yeah, I got you.
All right?
But my question, okay. Then.
Now I'm going to go to the end of the paw. All right?
Yeah.
Get rid of that. Okay, here's the paw, right?
Yeah.
Now, as soon as it finishes the paw, let's say right there.
Yeah.
Almost right there.
Well, close enough. I see what you're doing.
Now I'm at the end of the paw. Let's say that's good enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to push in another stop.
Yes.
And I change my color again.
But if you change it back...
But now what I have over here is the paw is isolated.
Yes. So you get rid of the paw.
It's gone.
But if you made the second color stop that you did...
Yeah.
After you did
I would have made it back to black.
Black. Will it... No, is there going to be a color stop in there, or
not if it matches the color before?
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah,
so
if I had made it black,
and it goes to black,
and it was black to black,
there's no
color
just going to keep
stop.
going. Okay, that makes sense, and that's
but
what I was
wondering.
wondering.
That's how you isolate one section of something that you want to get rid of.
Yeah, and then just
once you put the stops on either end. Now you saw over in my list, I had an isolated paw.
Yeah.
If I hit undo up here real quickly,
you'll
see.
Yeah, the paw.
Here's my paw.
And so as long as the color matched before and after, the machine, when you're running it, there would be no stop.
There's
it would just
no
keep
stop.
going. Yeah, okay.
By definition, with essentials, the color stop has to require a change in color.
Okay, and that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Otherwise, it gets translated back to no stop.
Thank you for watching another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Hope you all enjoyed it. Join us again next week for another Shenanigans. So
who knows what?
Who knows what?
Who knows what?
So on, and be excellent to each other.